shook his head, not believing this bureaucratic bullshit. You mean you want to stop searching because of a fucking line on a map? Rules. Then a super Italian shrug. They will come tomorrow. Fuck that. Logan looked up at the sky. The sun was already hovering way too close to all those snow-covered peaks. It had set soon. Then his friends would spend another night shivering God knows where, probably without any food. Logan grabbed a satellite radio off the belt hook of the Tenente. I'm an American. We make our own rules. As he stalked off, he realized that what sounded cocky and heroic in his head probably came out as douchey, in that he had no supplies without the regimenti, or transportation, but he sure as hell wasn't stopping before the sun set. Signor Marsh, wait. Logan cut down the hill, each step squishing through about 4 inches of fresh powder. They'd done this so many times his thighs were screaming. Leave the main road, hike down a couple 100 feet, look for signs of a crash that were probably obscured by the fresh snow, hike back up, and do it all again. No, he said over his shoulder. We're not actually at the border yet, right? Si. Then let's keep going. If your GPS tells you we're about to hit it and start an international incident, then I'll keep going alone. It gave him equal parts satisfaction and relief to hear several sets of boots crunching through the snow behind him down the ridge. No alone, the Tenente insisted. Logan kept slip-sliding down the hillside because they were running out of daylight. He'd only be able to push this so far. So he let out all of his frustration and fear as he yelled, "One person can make a difference between life and death. That's all it takes. One goddamn person. One person not giving up. One person giving it his all." Because if this ended badly, Logan gritted his teeth together so hard that every step made his jaws ache. If they couldn't find the guys in time, it sure as hell wouldn't be because he gave up. It wouldn't be because he got tired and wanted to take a load off. Bad enough that he'd missed getting on the bus with all of them. Maybe, just maybe, if he'd been where he belonged, with them, like always, he could have prevented whatever happened. That guilt snaked under his skin like a live wire, stinging at him constantly. What if this was all his fault, for ignoring his friends, not to mention the rules, and following his dick instead? So no, Logan wouldn't stop. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not until he found Griffin and Riley and Knox and Josh. Signore, no, go there. At the warning from the Tenente, Logan looked down. Yeah, there was another small cliff edge about 1 step in front of him, but not a chasm or anything epic like that, just an overhang of about 5 feet. He could belly over it and drop to the next ledge. Instead of wasting time arguing, Logan just hit the ground. What he hadn't figured on was the snow. Cold, wet, more slippery than Tina Flaherty wielding a sponge in a bikini at the cheerleader's last car wash. Logan clawed his gloved fingers at the edge, but he might as well have been trying to hang on to air, which was all he was doing a second later. Logan felt pretty good about swallowing the startled yelp that almost escaped from his throat. Then he hit the ground, and that damned yelp escaped as something snapped when he landed on his wrist. He wasn't sure which sound was worse, the unnatural crack of his own bone breaking in half, or the high near squeal he let out. Didn't matter. He didn't need his arm to keep walking, to keep looking, to not give up. They all probably had injuries from exposure by now. Hell, Knox was a skeleton of a nerd. No muscle to absorb the hit of any injury. No doubt he was a walking scab, if he could walk at all. So Logan took off his scarf, wrapped it around his neck, and tied a knot with one hand and his teeth. Then he slid his arm into the half-assed sling. Getting up took a couple of tries. Hearing the shouts from the regimenti above just hustled him along. And it gave him an idea. The fall put him on a level they hadn't gotten to before. A different path, too. He'd stopped yelling at the end of day 1 of the search, but now, nearing the end of day 3, he'd damn well start again. Griff! Nothing but the crunch of snow underfoot. Oh, and the harsh whistle of his breath as each step jostled the pieces of his wrist. If he thought about it, which he refused.